Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Karen Harlin, and I'm striving to become the realtor that you know. The realtor who you know is capable of assisting you in navigating all phases of the real estate transaction. I'm with Community Choice Realty, located in Birmingham, Michigan, and myself, along with my partner, Donnell Harlan, we specialize in working with clients in southeast Oakland, Wayne County, and western Wayne counties here in Michigan. Today, I want to talk to you about agency. As a licensed realtor in Michigan and in most states, I must say, the real estate agent must disclose to their prospective clients who they work for, who their agency is with. Here's what I mean by that. First, let me address the seller. If you are a seller or if you're thinking about selling, you may very well be interviewing various agents. I want to encourage you to be cautious and discreet about disclosing too much detailed information until you have actually hired the agent who will represent you. The reason for this is anything that you may say to the agents that you don't choose, they may later on bring a buyer. So for example, if you've told them that you start your new job in 2 weeks and you need to sell within 2 weeks, or you have a family emergency and you got to get out of town by the end of the month, or you need the proceeds from the sale of the house to address your family emergency. That type of information that you may disclose to all agents across the board, they could use that later on if they happen to be the agent that will bring a buyer for your home. And so, again, you want to be discreet and cautious about sharing too much information until you're talking to the agent that has been contracted or hired by you to represent your best interests. Now, if you're a buyer, I know that many of you buyers search the internet and you look in the newspaper or you drive down the street and you look at the signs and you call that real estate agent who is representing the seller, and in some cases you may even call or contact the seller themselves. Again, I caution you about sharing too much personal information, too many details about your situation to the buyer's agent, to the seller's agent who's not representing you. For example, maybe you just inherited a lot of money, or maybe your lease is about to expire, or maybe you have a specific time frame where you've got to buy that house in that neighborhood. Maybe you want your kids in a specific school district. Again, be cautious about sharing too much information or information that will compromise your ability to negotiate the best price for you. Now, what I'm going to recommend, and as time goes on, you're going to hear me recommend this over and over again. If you're buying or selling real estate, you want to have competent representation, a competent realtor who is looking out for your best interests. That's ideal for you. Now, with that being said, I want to mention one more thing. In some cases, there may be a situation where the real estate agent who is representing the seller will also represent or write up the offer for the buyer. That is allowed. However, real estate ethics require that if an agent is representing both the buyer and the seller, that agent must disclose that to both parties. The seller must understand and agree, and so must the buyer. Now, a sidebar is that as realtors, we are bound, duty bound actually, to be fair, honest, and ethical with all parties. And again, this is just information for you as a buyer or a seller to understand how things work and what your rights are. You have the right to say, no, I'd rather have my own representation. Or certainly if you agree that you understand that when the real estate agent is representing the buyer and the seller, there will be things about your situation that the real estate agent will not be able to tell that buyer. There will be things about the buyer's situation. For example, you may ask the agent, well, how much money are they putting down? How much money can they put down on the house? That agent may not be able to tell you that information. So, again, just be aware that in most states, real estate agents are required by law to disclose their agency, meaning disclose who they represent, who their loyalty is to. And if you choose to work with a real estate agent who is representing both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction, you must be informed and you must agree. I hope this information is helpful. If you have any questions, please contact myself or Donnell. You can reach us on Facebook at The Realtor You Know, and we will also leave our email address at the end of this video. I thank you so much for watching today, and remember, when the time comes, let's make a move. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks again.